Hi everybody, this is Hero back with another Dragonflight video. I'm looking at the gem build for Arcane Mage heading into 10.1. Gem build essentially is the burst profile for Arcane Mage that works across all content. Only a couple of minor changes in talents, and it is pit up against the Harmony build, which is the one where you used to build stacks by casting Arcane Missiles. Then you would get a gigantic Arcane Barrage. Traditionally, the Harmony build was fairly good at two target cleave because you are leveraging your cleaving from the arcane barrages, having that extra 100% damage bonus. But just the way the sims are looking for 10.1, especially with two piece from tier 29 and two piece from tier 30, using arcane gem actually is better in all of the sims for all kinds of content. So I wanted to put together I guess this guy's a 397 mage on live. Show you the rotation. Just so you note, there is a dummy in execute, but you're getting the basic feature of what the cleave side of the gem build looks like. And the approach is kind of the same or straightforward, but I wanted to show you both windows. The burst window beginning with double lust up, and then our mini burst window, we don't have access to surge. What does it look like? What is the damage profile? You can see here, it's a really straightforward two-piece burst approach. The order of your abilities is set or fixed. So as long as you have not mismanaged your mana, you can see I'm kind of getting down here at the bottom. My second burn had a couple of awkward GCDs there. But in most raid fights, you'll have something to do, so your mana is likely to be okay. Like you'll have to blink over or do something, and it might be harder to maintain it, or you have to move out of bad. You'll have a couple of seconds of regeneration. Despite that, that just means that I probably need to barrage one or two more times, given my haste. That's what the damage profile looks like. Let me just scoot back to beginning of the burst. See here, I've just opened. So I put down a Rune of Power. We have Nether Tempest running. Just double Lust on pull. We do that until I get down to something like 60% mana. See, I have my mana tracking with my Arcane Charges right in the center of my screen. And I have Radiant Spark ready to go with Touch of the Magi, so I know the cooldowns for those. You don't actually have to have all this information. As long as you have some way to indicate when you can begin your next Radiant Spark window, that's good enough on the UI. You'll see also a few other pieces that I'll talk about. So we're heading into the burst window here. I just cast Radiant Spark, and I am tracking the vulnerability debuff in my UI. You don't actually have to do this because the casts are always going to be the same order for both the major surge window and also for the minor burst window without surge. That's going to be, I've already cast one Arcane Blast. Here comes a second one. Here comes a third one. So I have 3 stacks. Then we're going to cast our Arcane, or Nether Tempest, which you see just got put back on the target, so it's at full duration. And we're going to do an Arcane Surge cast. There it goes. After Arcane Surge is cast, we're going to cast our Mana Gem. I've been toying around with other ways to macro this to make it a little bit easier, or do we need another keybind? Frankly, I've just gone back to giving myself another keybind for Arcane Gem, but nevertheless, after you press Arcane Surge, you press Arcane Gem, then do your last Arcane Blast into Barrage combo. After that Barrage is cast, we're obviously going to press TOTM. So here comes the last blast, and we're immediately casting Barrage, and you can TOTM is going off right at the same time that I'm casting the Barrage. So they have been not macro together. I'm pressing 2 distinct buttons, but I'm casting the Barrage first and then immediately pressing TOTM. So the Barrage is going out with the TOTM buff. Boom, you'll see the damage starts to go crazy. I'm going to try to fit in one more Barrage combo, just because we are cleaving on targets. There you go. That gets you through your burst. Make sure you're shifting power sort of after your burst is done. Once we get to the 4-piece, you will have a bit more of a damage amp coming into your second burst without surge. However, the overlap between the damage amplification isn't that high. So I think, I'm not sure if it includes your full RS window or not, but anyways, it's there for you. You won't have any mana issues once you get to 4-piece. But I should note, here comes, again, second burst window, and I've cast RS before Rune of Power. It's not ideal. You want to cast Rune of Power first. However, with the changes, we're getting 2 more seconds to the window of RS, so it's okay. Cast your Rune of Power afterwards. You're not casting any spells as long as you don't mess up the order. So here comes, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to do NT. So we're at the 4 stacks. In the mini burst, it doesn't matter quite as much if you press your Nether Tempest at the 3rd stack and then cast 2 more, or if you cast at the 4th. As long as you're doing it correctly, so you're replacing the Surge with an Arcane Blast. Here comes Blast into the window. So again, Blast, we're pressing Barrage, then we're pressing TOTM. See how the Barrage is going out and the TOTM is following? That's important because we want that Barrage to be hitting in TOTM window. So that's why we're casting them basically together. So it goes off. We do our little mini burst combo. Which again, we're just trying to proc a lot of Arcane Echo through missiles. Keep pressing either Arcane Blast or Arcane Explosion in AoE. I was mostly trying to show like a couple target cleave here, so I wasn't pressing Arcane Explosion, but you would be pressing Explosion in AoE setting. And that gets you through both bursts. So just to recap, for the Surge opening, 3 blasts, Surge, Blast, Barrage. For the non-Surge mini window, it's 4 blasts, and then Blast, Barrage. Pretty straightforward. Hope you guys are getting ready. I think the gem build is really exciting, especially in, mana management issues. You don't have to be worried about stacking up Arcane Harmony and figuring out where your mana is at. It's really flexible. You have so much movement with this build. The same is true, by the way, of Harmony. It's not that Harmony has less movement, but Arcane has lots of movement going into next tier. I've tested on a couple of the bosses. We look like we're in a great spot, but it doesn't seem like there's any boss that demands Harmony's use over gem. You might, if there's some kind of special execute, like a mob that needs to die and is already like leveraged into execute at certain times, or you can cleave it and it's always going to be an execute. That's when Harmony may start to come back. Or if you have execute windows at every single burst and mini burst window. So the opener, there's some amazing, like you see here, some amazing execute window, or in the mini burst, that's when Harmony might be okay. But otherwise, gem scales better with more targets, and it's great on single target. And obviously, I'm showing you the cleave side, but you would probably want to pick up Impetus, which gives a chance to give us a buff when we cast Arcane Blast while we have 4 charges. That seems to sim a little bit better in single target. Anyways, that's all for me, guys. Hope you enjoyed and getting ready. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be playing Arcane Mage as a main going into Mythic rating next tier, and I'm really enjoying it. Again, I was sort of hoping we could get to just straight Arcane Blast spam because I find that just hilarious. Just I know it's not people's jam, but it just is not simming. It's something like 30 or 40k behind in all of my simming. So we are kind of focused on gem builds, and this is the cleave side of it, but it's a lot of fun. Anyways, enjoy your day. We'll see you guys next time.